Hi guys, so today has been one hell of a day, actually the last 2 days. Yesterday night I completely smashed my phone, so I'm recording with it anyways because the camera's not working. The camera is working. Because I promised you guys a video on Sunday on recording vocals, editing it, and all that stuff. If my phone does act up, you guys know why, so if this video turns out really shit, then you know why. Okay. Let me just oh, not what I meant to do. Give me a second. So now I'm gonna start showing you guys, if this computer says to work with me, how to work with vocals. So what I'm going to be working with is the unedited version of one of my songs, because I thought it'd be appropriate. Hey, talk, here we go. This is the vocal that we chose for the album, and I scratched out all the, I turned off all the different things that were on it, just to show them. I'm probably going to do something different, so I'm not going to sound the same to the album. Probably not going to do the exact same thing. Just because you guys are going to see every step of the way. But you're going to get the idea of what I did while I was making the album. So I'm going to put the recording right next to me. So I'm actually going to try and scooch it this way. Right. So as you guys can see on my side, I'm going to be on the computer. Put the computer up here actually. So we're on GarageBand. You can already see the track right there, the blue track. That's the audio. You can rename it, so we're going to call it main vocal. There you go. So right here in the master track, you go to plugins, and there's already two. There's a compressor that's there, which comes like as a default thing, but it's usually off. You can turn it on and edit it. Then there's the channel EQ, which is just a neutral thing. It's not doing anything right now. It's like off, but you can edit it. So you place right below it, and all these different plugins come in that you can use. The top ones, the top 1, 2, 3, 4 are my recent ones, which I use a lot. But the way you can find them is compressor is in Dynamics compressor right there. Right? So then here what you can do is you can compress the vocal. So if it's too loud or too quiet, or you want more gain on it, or you feel like you weren't like emotional enough on it, so you just want to add that like attack feeling to the song. Stay singing in the back of the car like Jay. That's overly done, obviously. Okay, what people have to say, yeah, So you guys just heard that, and now we're gonna listen to it without it. Hey, it's me. So that's just the compressor. That's the difference with the compressor. So it doesn't make it sound like you've edited it. It's just literally making it louder without it crackling in the headphone, in your headphones, or in the amp you're using or whatever. Right. So that's that. That's compressor. Then I usually use Silver Reverb, which is just in the reverb section. Space Designer is also really good. I feel like Silver Reverb just has the right thing for my voice, I guess. It just works with me, but you can try out all of them. I'm just going to show you Silver Reverb right here. Ooh, it's acting up. Stop acting up. Thank you. Okay, so this is what this does. It basically, if you feel like the voice is too dry, in the sense of like, it's not soothing in a way, usually you add it first right as Wes right there. You guys can see everything I'm doing. It will make it more soft, like not as harsh. So what you can do is, hey, it's me. That's way too much, right? So then you turn down the room size, which is the top thing. Usually put it around 20, depends on the vocals. Hey, it's me, singing in the That's the thing turned up. Like Jay, easy. Okay, what people have to say, yeah, Right, so that's with the Silver Reverb, and now that's without, but with the compressor. Hey, it's me, singing in the back of the car like Jay. Right, so I feel like that is too much of a compressor. I mean, reverb. So I'm just gonna add a bit more room, which will make the voice sound larger, deeper.
Hey, it's me singing in the back of the car.
Now what you gotta be careful of is the dryness. If you take too much away, it'll sound like you're whispering. So it'll take the attack that you got with the compressor away, which you don't want, obviously. Nobody wants that. You just gotta play around a bit.
It's me singing in the back of the car like Jay-Z.
Right, without?
Don't care what people have to say. Yeah,
Kind of adds a bit of a reverb on the back. I was trying to find a word and I was like, wait, it's the name. Just kind of like a backing vocal, but it's your voice. Kind of like an echoey sort of style. Right, so then this one you gotta be really, really careful of. I'm trying to find it. This one, which is the exciter. It's awesome. You think 1 second you're like, holy shit, this is amazing. But then if you apply it to a lot of different things in your mix, you can muck up the whole recording. This can ruin everything for you. So you gotta add really, really carefully and really little by little, because I added it when I was recording, and I have someone that kind of helps me and says like, oh, this is a bit too much of this, too much of that. Because to your own ears, you just want to kind of like remove every like thing you don't like about your voice, because you hate listening back to it. Believe me, this is hard. Listening back is just horrible. Especially because you can find every little thing that you did wrong. Nobody else will notice, but you will, because you know you were doing something, you got distracted, you were thinking about something else, you know? So you gotta be really careful. So you gotta be really careful with how you use it, but we're gonna try to, even though every time I try to do this I fail miserably.
Hey, it's me
Too much, right?
singing in the back of the car like Jay-Z. Don't care what people have to say. Yeah,
See, very little.
'Cause I'm such
So I'm gonna play it once through with
It's me
and now off.
singing in the back of the car like Jay.
It adds something to it. I'm not quite sure how to describe it. But add a little bit more. Let's see.
Hey, it's me singing in the back of the car like Jay-Z. Don't care what people have to say.
Awesome. So that's that. You keep pressing below the thing you just pressed to add more to it. Okay, the pitch shifter. You guys, if you add 100% of this, you will sound like a robot. You will sound like, you know when people say, oh, that's so like, so fake, like, that's 10 hours on a computer trying to make you sound good. This can cause that. But what me and the person who helps me out with this stuff figured out is that with like 50, no more than 50. 35, 50, don't go over 50. It will actually, every little mistake that you go like a teeny tiny, like less than a semitone off, you're just not in the right note, but you're not in the next one up, this will fix it for you. And it's just human mistake. You're gonna make mistakes. Even if you take it 1 billion times, you will have one little bit that's slightly off that you don't like. But if you keep recording it, you will never finish. So this is just for human errors. So you turn it up to around 40, 45. And my Mac is in low power. Great. So is my phone. Okay.
Hey, it's me singing in the back of the car like Jay.
You can't hear the difference, which is good.
Okay, well,
Because if you can hear the difference, I'm just gonna say this quickly. If you can hear the difference, what are we gonna call this? YouTube video. Okay. All right.
hey, it's me singing in the back of the car like Jay-Z. Don't care what people have to say.
Right. So now I'm gonna play it through for you guys, with and without everything we just added. So I'm just gonna quickly turn everything off. I'm gonna play it through.
It's me singing in the back of the car like Jay-Z. Don't care what people have to say.
Right. So that's the first bit. Now we're gonna turn everything back on. Right there.
Hey, it's me.
See, that's loud, so you gotta kind of turn down the volume a bit.
Car like Jay-Z.
What you don't want is for the volume there to get to the red, right? So what I would do now, which are the small little edits,
such a beautiful man.
It's kind of turn it down a little bit, so then I can turn it
They
up.
say I never listen anyway.
I was feeling so sassy when I was recording this, honestly, guys.
Keep making my own rules. Oh.
Just saving it. Right, so that's just a verse, right? So that's about it on what I do to the vocals. Usually what I do overall is just kind of grab them all together, and to the general side of things, just add a bit of a compressor, or just to kind of merge it all together a bit. Believe me, you guys, I will put a screenshot in. By the time you get your perfect vocal, you will have taken at least 10 takes. This is once you've got one that it's like 90% there for you, like it's almost there, but it's not quite there. That's when you use this stuff. Don't try to use this on your first recording and be like, oh, yeah, I got 5 minutes to record this. I'm just going to grab the first one to go. Don't. It's not going to be good enough. You're not going to be happy with yourself. Record it as many times as you need. This is just to make something that is human errors, make them sort of kind of perfect. Almost perfect. Right. So that's it. I'm just gonna... Am I gonna do that? EQ. Someone asked me about EQ. Now, EQ is something really, really risky to work with. I don't remember using EQ. This is EQ, what it is, it's kind of like the compressor. Basically, it's kind of like a fancy compressor, but it is so hard to work with, and only like technicians that have had years of training know how to use this. But you don't need to use it, because actually, see the frequency, the gain and all that stuff. That's all you saw when I was using the compressor. So even though this may look fancy, and you may say, oh yeah, I use this. I used it too with a compressor, you know? Like, I did the exact same thing it took you 5 hours to do in 5 minutes. You know? The reason why it took me so little time to edit this is because I already had a really good vocal and I was on the go. But until you get this vocal, you might be 5 hours recording. So don't feel bad if your editing it does not take 5 minutes, because originally it did not take me 5 minutes, because I had a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different vocals to work with, a bunch of different stuff I could have used, and just doing a bit on everything, like, oh, can I do this, can I do that, until I found these controllers that kind of work for me. That's what I did. Also, don't use these little things. These little, it's going to be in the video right there. These little things are no good for you, child. Use the ones that come up on here, on the plugins track. Yeah, right there. So that's it for today's video. Next week, Sunday, you guys are going to get another video. Hope this helps to all the people that asked me to do it. And have a good night.